The audience was very large and responsive for the recent production of Newsies by Next Generation Theater Company. The turnout and the enthusiasm were both richly deserved. Newsies is based on a 1992 movie of the same name that failed critically and financially. It was Disney's first completely live-action musical film, and it earned back less than a fifth of its $15 million investment. On VHS and DVD, however, Newsies developed a cult following of fans who wanted a version they could perform themselves. High schools were putting on the show without a script or permission. To meet the demand for a stage version, Disney commissioned one. The original composer and lyricist, Alan Menken and Jack Feldman, added new songs, and Harvey Fierstein wrote a new book. This new version was intended just for licensing, but the premiere at the Paper Mill Playhouse was so successful that Disney scheduled a limited run on Broadway. The limit soon came off. Newsies became the fastest Disney musical to turn a profit and ran for over 1,000 performances. The appeal of Newsies to young people is easy to understand. It's about them. The title characters are plucky young ragamuffins on the edges of society. They subsisted by selling newspapers at a time when print was the primary vehicle for delivering the news. The story is based on the actual newsboy strike of 1899. It was a protest against a rise in the price newsboys had to pay for a bundle of newspapers to sell. Joseph Pulitzer was one of the publishers responsible for the price hike, and he's the antagonist in the musical. The hero is a fictionalized composite named Jack Kelly, who organizes a protest against the newspapers. The first demonstration fizzles in the face of opposition from the police and strikebreakers, but the Newsies do gain an important ally in Catherine Plummer, a young reporter who writes positively about the strike. Jack and Catherine are attracted to each other as well as the Newsies' cause, but their personal story is complicated because they both have secrets. This story about young people was a perfect vehicle for Next Generation Theater Company because it is a company for young people. Its mission is to create new opportunities for young adults in the St. Louis area who are pursuing a career in theater. The aspirations of the production reflected the aspirations of the performers. They consistently pushed themselves to do their best. For example, in the ambitious choreography by director Joe Elvis. The ensemble maintained striking cohesiveness while its members took advantage of opportunities for individual expression. Matthew Reardon as Jack and Leah Holdman as Catherine gave winning performances both musically and dramatically. They made the social divide between the couple as evident as their mutual attraction. The outcome of their romance was not something that could be taken for granted. Catherine was not a character in the original movie. Fierstein did well to add her. Joel Hackbarth made Joseph Pulitzer a believable human being rather than a cardboard villain. Jack's loyal friends had depth in the portrayals by Matthew Cox as Crutchy, Jack Irby as Davy, Max Slavic as Les, and Brenda Bass as Meta Larkin. Brian Ebbinghaus' scenic design nicely met the need for an upper level and created flexibility that was enhanced by Morgan Brennan's lighting. The run crew executed scene changes with admirable efficiency. Given the size of the cast, I was not surprised that the impressively detailed costumes were credited to 5 designers: Joel Hackbarth, Peggy Woodward, Laura Powell, Megan Brantley, and Meredith Todd, who was also the music director of the skilled orchestra. The youthfulness of the audience reflected the youthfulness of the cast. We should be thankful to shows like Newsies that draw a younger audience to the theater.
Yes, and what a tremendous energy, yes, in the house, but they picked it up from what was going on stage. It was a great joy to see that kind of excitement about a production. So let's hear some of this music.